I'm still running on the stock clutch plates. It's been 35,000 kilometers. And do you want to see the power? So today we are in an interesting episode and at an awesome place. So it has been raining cats and dogs in Chennai for past 3 days. It's a Monday evening. The time is around 2:30 now, but still the climate is awesome. So I thought, why not make a video of my own Duke ownership. It's been 35,000 kilometers, and I thought to let you guys know what are the issues that I had and what are the best parts of the Duke and why should you have a Duke in your garage. So without wasting time, let's get into the video. So this bike needs no introduction to talk about the bike. This is a 2017 model. It's a 373cc to be precise, and it puts out a 44 horsepower and 37 Newton meter of torque. So when I got this bike, the subframe was white in color and the tail section was white in color as well. So I wrapped it carbon fiber and I painted the subframe black, and same with the knuckle guard as well. Knuckle guard was an orange color, so I wrapped it with carbon fiber, and mud guard again I wrapped it with carbon fiber. I wanted to get rid of all the white things on the bike. I couldn't do much on the suspension, on the tank decals. I thought to change the tank font, but then left it. So let's take a look at the console. Ready to race. Yes, it is. Trust me guys, this is one of the best console you will ever see on a bike. Even the bikes which cost 9 to 10 lakhs doesn't have a digital display. So this display gives you all the alerts. First you can see kill switch. I have turned on the kill switch. Now side stand, you can clear the alerts. And to describe about the console, so it has got all the information you need. So this is where you see the speedometer and the RPM meter. You can see the RPM band goes up to 12,000, but it cuts at 10,000. And you see the fuel range, battery voltage, date, consumption, the fuel economy. Almost it is like it has an error of 2-3 kilometers, that's it. And the time of the ride trip, the speed, average speed on the trip kilometers. So the bike has done 35,485 kilometers, and this is a fuel range. So this bike has a fuel tank of 13.5 liters, and this is a temperature gauge. So you can actually customize the RPM band from where you want the band to turn into red. Let me turn on the bike, you will understand. So I have set the RPM band to go red at 6,000 RPM. So do you see it? The RPM goes red after it crosses 6,000 kilometers. That is something which I love about this bike. You can customize it, and it has inbuilt Bluetooth. You can pair your mobile onto it, and this is my club logo, Black Hawk Bikers Club. Yes, so let me talk about the maintenance of this bike and the problems which I faced, and I am also part of the owners group, so I know what all the challenges or the issues that we have with this bike. You know, those initial days when I booked, right, so mine was almost the first bike in my showroom. So when I booked, during those days, almost it's kind of a test mule. They updated the software multiple times on this bike. So when you go toggle into it, and this was the last set which had optional ABS, so you can actually turn off the ABS. KTM MyRide, this is where you go when you pair your mobile to it. Information about the bike, general info, trip details, all these things, warning alerts. Motorcycle, so here you have the option to completely turn off the ABS, which is not available in the latest Duke. So you can use the supermoto mode and road mode. Road mode is where the ABS is on both the wheels. Supermoto is where the ABS works only in the front wheel, and you can completely turn off the ABS, which is a cool feature of this bike. That helps a lot for me during the off-road. And you can set the preferences, what all you want to see it on the display, as well as Bluetooth, whether you want to keep it on or not. So this has pretty much got all the details it has. So I just recently serviced the bike, probably 500 kilometers back. So I still have 4,500 kilometers for the next service, because I have set the service interval as 5,000 kilometers. So that's why it's showing. So the best thing about the Duke is the power to weight ratio, guys. You know, it's almost like a cycle. I handle it almost like a bicycle, you know. And the seat height is 820 mm, so that's one of the advantage for me. I'm 6 foot tall, 6.2, and seat is perfect. And the headlight is cool. The Duke looks sharp. You can see the cuts over there, sharp edges. But the headlight doesn't do a proper job at nights. You know, you literally can't see anything when some vehicle is coming in the opposite, even in low beam. So that is something let down on this bike. But you can't expect much. If you want a tour, you have to go for additional lights. And talking about the tank capacity, I can do a decent 200 kilometer range. So it is a 15 liter tank. I get a mileage of around 20 to 23, 24 on the highways, depending upon the highway cruising speed. So the maximum mileage I have got on this bike is somewhere around 32. When you cruise at 80s on the 6th gear, you will easily get a 30 mileage, guys. You know, and the least I have got on this bike is 14 kmpl. That is when I constantly was hitting the red line around 140s, 150s, 150. Talking about the tires, the stock tires came in Metzler's. This is the third set of tires. Metzler won't last more than 10,000 kilometers, right? You know. So and then I went for Michelin. Michelin is something, it's a touring tire, and its life comes around 25,000 kilometers. So I then changed it within 10,000 kilometers, because I got this tires from MRF. So this is a MRF and a testing tire which they gave me for testing on this bike. Tires are really amazing. It's almost, I've done 10,000 kilometers with MRF, and no complaints whatsoever. I'm going to change now. You can see the rear tire. It's almost gone. Just maybe 500 kilometers left. And brake on this bike is like taken care by 320 mm disc, and the bite is just amazing, superb. I mostly don't rely on the rear brakes, so I hardly change the rear brakes. You know, I think this is a second or third set, and I think it's second set. You know, I change it just because it gets aged, because I'm kind of a guy who completely relies on engine braking as well as the front brakes only. The slipper clutch on this bike is flawless, guys. You know, I just used to bring down the bike from 6th gear to 2nd gear, and the slipper clutch takes care of rest of the things. So that's an amazing thing. So talking about the flaws on this bike, what I would say is, being naked, you will definitely have the wind blast. Alright, so let's get onto the bike and talk about the drawbacks as well as the best thing about Duke. Let's go for a short spin. So it may rain. You can see the rain clouds So I'm planning to get back home before it rains. I just forgot to tell another important thing, that is the dB killer. So I removed the dB killer on my bike at 25,000 kilometers, so it's been 10,500 kilometers, and I had no issues. A lot of people were asking questions on the power drop or the mileage drop. I've been getting the same mileage and there is no power drop. So the drop in power is same as the 35,000 kilometer old bike. And here to the exhaust sound. All right. The drawback that I have seen on this bike is sometimes I had an issue with the ECU itself. Issue in the sense it just pops up an error, but we have never faced an issue. This is a common across all the Duke owners. I don't know why that error popped up. That was during initial stage, after which there is no issues. And during off-roads, if you forget to turn off the ABS, sometimes it throws ABS error. I'm not sure what they have done for the outgoing model, because you cannot turn off the ABS. And most important thing, guys, so make sure you maintain your bike properly. So after a particular interval, make sure you check the oil seal, the oil engine packing, as well as the water pump washer, water pump seal. I'll tell you what happened. There are a lot of Dukes which has the issue of engine oil getting mixed with coolant. That even happened in a brand new bike, just few thousand kilometers old. That was an issue on the Duke. I think KTM has rectified that issue. So better thing is, like, always keep checking your engine oil level as well as the coolant level. So coolant level you can check on the side panels. You have a place to see over here. So make sure your oil doesn't go out, your oil level doesn't reduce drastically, or the coolant level doesn't reduce drastically. And apart from this, I don't have any complaints about this bike. I'm still running on the stock clutch plates. It's been 35,000 kilometers. And do you want to see the power? I just brought down from 5th gear to 3rd gear, and the slipper clutch took all the work. That is the power of a 35,000 kilometer old bike. I've maintained it that way. If you take care of the bike properly, you will just enjoy riding the Duke. The current outgoing version gets quick shifter. I don't know how good it is to use, but that's an additional advantage. At the same time, the price have gone up to 3,10,000. Yeah, that's the on-road price, which is something kind of high. But even though it's 3 lakh, you don't have any bike which comes with this quality, this power. So can you name a bike in this segment which you can take to track days occasionally, guard sections, hill roads, bad patches, off-road? You can take the Duke every single place I have mentioned, and the bike has not stalled even once, guys. I haven't got chance to go travel to Himalayas, but I have taken this bike to almost everywhere in south. Kanyakumari, Kovalam, Goa. I went Goa, Bangalore, Tirupati, every single place, and the bike just never failed to surprise me. So that's one thing about Duke. And the best part, the versatility of the Duke. You can just cruise with the super bikes on the highway with 140, 150 effortlessly, because the top speed which I have done on this bike is around 173 when I got the bike, that was the top I have clocked digitally. I don't know what's the actual speed or GPS speed. On the speedometer I have seen up to 173, after which even now if I speed up I can go up to 164, 165 without an issue. And this bike is even capable of doing more, but it is electronically locked. To talk about the spare parts I've changed on this bike, so the front brake pad managed to come. The first brake pad I changed in 6,000 kilometers because I was new to this bike. I didn't know how to brake, so I wasted all my brake pads the 6,000 kilometers. And the second brake pad I changed around 25,000 kilometers, guys. I had been slamming the gears. Now I was using the engine braking to the fullest. Talking about the chain sprocket, the first one came up to 18,000 kilometers, and I changed the second one recently at 35,000 kilometers. So it comes to an average of 17 to 18 for my riding style. In fact, I ride aggressively. So if you ask showroom guys, they will ask you to change in 10,000 kilometers. So you should know about your bike. You should know when to change it. The throttle response on this bike is amazing. So this runs on ride-by-wire, so no issue on the accelerator cables. You don't have to worry about that. And to talk about the pillion comfort, so I rarely take pillion. The pillion comfort is much better. Even the rider comfort, the seats are good. What a bike, guys, what a bike. The only major complaint I have about this bike in the traffic is like the heat management, guys. The heat directly hits your leg and you will get roasted if you don't wear shoes. So I once rode this bike on a bumper to bumper traffic at a hot sunny day around 11:30 in the morning. The mindset of me was like, I even decided to stop the bike, park the bike somewhere and catch a cab back to home. So that's something that you need to take care. Always wear a shoe when you're riding a Duke. That is actually safe for you as well, because the heat directly hits your leg from the top. I don't know whether they fix this issue in the ongoing model. Oh, so let me show you the live mileage here, because I've been traveling outside the city now. I reset my trip too, so I've done around 18.9 kilometers, that is 20 kilometers. And if you see the live mileage, I'm getting somewhere 30. I'm getting somewhere 30.2, because I didn't push much today. I've been riding around somewhere 70 to 80, and that's a good decent speed for Duke to get around 30. There's a live example you can see here. It's almost, if it shows 30 here, I will anyways solidly get around 27 to 28, guys. So if you take it slow, the bike will give you a good mileage. So even if I upgrade, if I change the bike, I need to look for a replacement of the Duke, because I can't imagine a heavy bike, that's for sure. You should ride a Duke to feel how it is. That's all I will say. So, and this is definitely a must-have bike in your garage if you can have 2-3 bikes. Just an amazing mission. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope I gave all the information that you need about this bike. This is a phenomenal bike, guys. You should own it at least once in your lifetime. So subscribe to my channel, that would encourage me a lot. Share the video with your friends. Take care, stay safe, bye bye, see you in another video.